the answer of why we attract these patterns, of why we attract the people who continuously reject us, is because we first believe that we're only worthy of that rejection. Now, some of you maybe be like, fuck off, yeah, that's not really true. I need to, like, what, how can you say this? I want a good relationship. Why would I attract a bad one? Let me tell you why. In our subconscious minds, we are, someone said low self-worth, all of these are results of the same thing. Your subconscious mind is the part of you that determines how you live. It's basically, think of it like the pilot to your plane, the captain to your ship. It's basically what drives you. Now, just because a pilot's in a plane, and when you're standing on the ground, you look at the plane flying, you don't see the pilot. You see the plane moving, but the plane isn't moving itself. There's someone flying the plane, because that's what the pilot does. That's what your subconscious mind does. Now, when you look at life all around you, you're living from what we call more of like an aware mind, which is a higher beta brainwave state. It's actually not a very absorbing stage of your mind. It's just reactive. Listen carefully. For those of you who love neuroscience, those of you who don't, this is going to give you answers for everything. Your subconscious mind is the deeper layer of your mind that drives your patterns, that drives your beliefs, that creates your actions in a certain way, that creates your habits, that chooses and determines what you go after, that attracts the partners that you do. Because in this subconscious mind layer is the beliefs about yourself. And so remember, someone talked about mirrors before, and I talked about mirrors after all, and I was telling you, you will only attract a life that reflects what you see and believe of yourself. Remember this carefully. You will only attract a life that reflects what you believe of yourself. So if you're attracting those partners, and trust me, I'm there. I'm not trying to like put this weight on you. I've been there. I attracted those partners who, after all the years, after all the months of investment, I still felt continuously rejected, trying to prove myself, trying to find love, not being good enough, not being valuable enough, having the same painful things. I was there. So what I'm trying to give you is what has helped me. It's not what I just want to collect from the information and just like throw into your face. These birds are so beautiful, by the way. But anyway, coming back to that. So then, if your belief about yourself is that you're not valuable enough, you're not worthy enough, or that I am only going to get rejected, even though your conscious brain says, I want a good relationship, I'm writing on my manifestation paper, I'm going to have a great partner with this and kids, you can't have it. Because your pilot is going to drive you in the direction that it believes you should go. So then the next question comes in, okay, Yats, where did these beliefs come from? Now, your subconscious mind, and this is science, you can research it, your subconscious mind was most active when you were a child. And that's because you don't have like a forebrain, you don't have the ability to like make logical reason or anything. Think about it. When a baby is born, what are they born with? They're born with like emotions. They eat, they poop, they know how to like express, they don't know how to ask for things, they don't know how to create rational relationships. So their brain in the front, the forebrain, which is the logical brain, is not active. But the subconscious brain is extremely active. And so it absorbs all of this information. It absorbs everything that it's going through, and including, and listen to this, it absorbs how the world treats it, and therefore it creates an identity for itself. When a baby is young, it doesn't know whether it's black, white, blue, yellow, orange, whatever, which is why you put all these babies together and they'll just love each other and play with each other, even though they don't speak the same fucking language, because they communicate on subconscious, authentic energy. It is when they are continuously conditioned in this space of how people treat them, what they're exposed to, what people say continuously, how they keep learning language, they start to believe who they are. Now, we're taking all of this, talking about language, color, skin, belief, but what about emotionally? If this baby was a child and went up and started to ask for love, but imagine that this baby had an emotionally unavailable parent. The first time the parent doesn't know how to hug the baby back, hold the baby, soothe it when they're crying, any of those things. And so the baby first starts to feel like, okay, that's weird, they're not really giving this back to me. They go back again, and the baby tries and attempts to get this love, which they deserve, right? But again, the parent is emotionally unavailable. Then the baby now starts to process this as saying, maybe there's something wrong with me, which is why they are treating me that way. Remember, baby doesn't have a forebrain, so baby can't say, oh yeah, my dad went through the army, he went through this, or my mom was beaten as a child. Baby can't do that. Baby just says, if they're not treating me with love, something must be up with me. Something must be wrong with me. So now, if the baby was in an environment or a space where they didn't get enough love, where they had emotionally unavailable parents, where they had parents who had their own trauma and so were fighting amongst themselves, going through a divorce, challenging each other, whatever they were doing, then in this space, the baby processes all of that as being something about themselves. I was very physically abused as a child, but I had no way to think that, oh yeah, it's because my mother was going through what she did in her own life that she was projecting it onto me. No. Every time I was hit, I was like, why did I get hit? What did I do wrong? Is it me? Like, why am I so bad? Like, why do I deserve like people treating me like this or any of that stuff? And so I kept internalizing it to mean something was up with me. What did I internalize it to mean? I'm not good enough. I'm not valuable enough, because otherwise why the fuck would my mom want to hit me? She's a grown woman. I need and I want love, and the same person I'm going to for love is rejecting me. Now here's the magic sauce. Your subconscious mind is almost completely developed between the ages of 16 to 18, which means at this point you have all of the idea of who you are locked in your subconscious mind. Now everything after that is basically a reproduction of what you know in different ways. So at this point, you're going to find relationships which unconsciously will reject you the same way that you were used to in your childhood. You will find people who will not accept you the same way that you were not accepted in your childhood. You will find a life and a circumstance which reminds you of what your subconscious finds familiar, because these are the wounds that are the captain driving your ship. Hey, and welcome to the Inner Yats YouTube page. If you like our content, make sure you click the like and the subscribe button so that you get more of these amazing videos that keep coming your way.